my fan. That's good. The stream health seems okay. Where's my controller? Just woke up after having a nap. Nap was unplanned. I was actually trying to get ready to stream earlier than this. I was hoping I was going to stream before midnight, but oh well. Spelunker time. You're going to listen to some sound effects. It's Commodore OS. Seems I don't have Atari captured again. Why do I have it on Vice? It's supposed to be an Atari. And the wrong window now, because I updated. There we go. I got to readjust the window. Or that, or move that so it's above me. Actually, I should actually move my own camera way to the bottom of everything. But then again, it's only clipping the video border for most stuff. Give me a moment. How do I do that again? How do I move myself while I'm live? Maybe I'll be fine. Run that Atari program. Games. I did some configuration, so this is arranged so I can get the stuff faster. Do I want to do the original version, or do I want to do the border bug release? Oh, border bug release might be the bug fixed one. Can't load it. What do you mean you can't load it? You mean you can't load stuff inside zips? Oh, come on. One moment. I forgot it does that. Yep, just getting the file out. Getting the other one out. Okay. Let's try this again. Alright, that's showing. That's good. Oh, hello. I was worried I was wondering if I was going to be up too late or anything. Fighting around with Atari 800 emulator using a custom BIOS that boots faster. Some stuff from if it's loaded from disk images, and what I'm about to play is going to be loaded from a disk image. My problem is that I forgot this thing cannot open the files when they're in zip folders. Now, my only other problem is the border going to clip the game? My window border for my picture. If it does, I'm gonna have to move myself. I'll shrink. In fact, I probably should have done it before I started. But actually, I think it's not going to really mess with it too much. still waiting on it to load. Okay, I guess it is loaded. That's the high score. 2 o'clock? I used to be... I actually forgot what it's like to be up till 2 o'clock. It's starting. Okay, that's the demo. Okay, this is me now. This is me now. Oops. I get the feeling for the jumps. Why did I go for the rock there? I mean, I only just realized what it was after I jumped for it. So you can tell I'm kind of still waking up. I laid down about 7 o'clock. Oh, that ghost isn't close enough. Okay. This is the, What do you mean there's already a ghost? Come on. Oh, there is a ghost. Are you kidding me? That guy's fast. Alright. I'm running out of air. I know, I know. Yep, air issues. This is Spelunker. Some people know this better from like the Nintendo version. This is the original Atari 800 version of the game. This game still gets modern remakes. I mean, you can still get it on the Switch as the HD edition. Oops. And I think I just lost my last Spelunker. This game's pretty hard. Yeah, it was like, no, you don't even get to go to the high score table. Ghost already? Where's he at? Oh, there he is. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You can get extra lives though. Because I actually have like 5 of them. At least that's what I think is what's going on here on the screen. This game is kind of like an over-the-top version of Pitfall. And the ghost still got me. Oh well. Yeah, it's a game with this jungle explorer guy, and then its sequel was in a cave. This game came out around the same time the sequel did. I think this game was maybe first compared to Pitfall 2. Can't be sure though. Got the Nintendo version, or the Famicom version, as they would call it in Japan. It got really popular in Japan, or somehow. So much that it became part of their culture when it first came out, and there's still people talking about how legendary it is. Whoops! Almost tripped on the rock. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm over here for the air game. Okay, that's where I want to go. Is right there. No, bomb. No, that's the air gun. Bomb. Bomb. What key is bomb? Bomb. Need to know how to bomb. That's the flare. Okay, gun is flare. G, that's flare. Bomb, where are you? Yeah, there's a button I'm trying to find that places the dynamite. Oh, it is D. Oh, shoot. Okay, you have to hold down D. You can't just tap it. You have to hold it down. I know I'm dying. Whoo, made it. Oops. I want that key. That's what I'm over here for. Oh, that was almost too high. If you fall too far, you just die. I want to go down. Oops. Well, not that far down. Oh, dang it. Why did I jump? That was way too early. That was me. That was all me. And then that was it. I used to be pretty good at the PlayStation version of this when I had the online multiplayer version. Yeah, this game is really hard. Look at me clip right through the platform. Yeah. Gaming. You know, it's really funny is the Spelunker looks so much more chunkier on this version of the game. They make him look fit as fiddle on the NES, and he still dies the same way. Yep. Ghost got too close. Or I could use Zapper on it. That was a mistake. From here now. Whew, that was scary. The ghost already. Bonk. Beat by camera scroll. There we go. Well, that was lucky. That was not. No, actually, no, he's not after a princess. What he's trying to do is he's trying to get the legendary treasure at the bottom of the cave. There's like this giant ancient pyramid at the bottom that he's heard about in some book, and he's trying to get to it. I mean, read about in some book, not heard about in some book. What kind of English was that? So he goes into this cave, and eventually he finds the mine shaft that goes in the direction where the treasure's supposed to be at, and that's where you start at. You start at that part of the mine shaft that goes into the cave. And then what you're trying to do then is get through all the traps and stuff to get to that treasure. And the hazards are people that died in the caves, the ghosts, that is, and then also cave bats. They're and those are the moving hazards. That's nothing, but that's nothing compared to how fragile the Spelunker really is. Because he can only fall so far before he dies. And then the tools he gets also will eventually kill him. Like the Ghost Zapper actually uses oxygen, and you have to go and pick up these things that fill up his oxygen tank. And the timer down below, that's his oxygen, and you have to actually. Why am I hitting my head there? I'm not pushing up. Oh well. But the oxygen tanks, there's these, I'm gonna point them out. Alright, I know my cursor's floating over the window, so I know I can point them out, so give you a moment. Oops, I fell and died. Actually, I can't get the cursor to show up on there. What the heck? Well, anyway, this first thing up here, that's an oxygen. Right here. That's an oxygen bellows. That fills you up on oxygen. And your ghost zapper, it uses up your oxygen to fire it. So you can't just fire it willy-nilly unless you want to kill yourself quickly. And some of these other ones, these other pickups, there are different types of treasures. Except for the dynamite. That's actual dynamite. And then, there's flare rounds. Which you use the flares to fight the bats. The bats are pretty noisy. That's that thing is you're hearing when I come down here so far. Is there's a bat on the side of the screen. That's it making its racket. Now the thing that kills you about the bat, right, is that for some reason the guano, you know, the poop it's dropping, because that's actually what it is. It's poop. Will kill you. You can avoid it with timing, but it's just easier to shoot down the bat with a flare gun. Finally, I didn't jump again and hit my head on the ceiling. What the heck was that? And this sparkly thing, that's a one-up. And I got stuck. Gotta love old gaming. I can't even use this. I can't even use that. Can I drop that? Can I shoot that? Nope. Yeah. One drink. Yo, game, I could use a ghost now. I'm gonna just die. It's my last life. It was my last life. I'm going to just die. This is how. That's what I'm gonna do. Just die. I tried every tool. It would not work. The guy was counted in the air. It said he jumped. I couldn't do anything. That was scary. Almost got stuck under there again. That's what that dunk was. Game said he jumped again and hit his head. I'm pretty sure I didn't jump. Oh, now there's a ghost. Now a ghost comes. Whoa, I almost killed myself there. Oh, never mind. That was all me. I'm playing it with the analog stick. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for the fact that the emulator only uses the analog stick. What do you mean I wasn't close enough? Okay. You know, actually, I thought I was going to get further than this. That's why I planned on doing it, because I thought I was going to get further. I'm making so many new player mistakes. It's hilarious, and I'm not a new player. I wonder if it has anything to do with how fast the game actually is running. Because if this is running at PAL speeds, then yeah, I'd be dying just that quick, just that easily. Oh, that was close. Yeah, right now I'm not going for the treasure. I'm going to just survive. Those artifacts are just screaming, I'm going to kill you. Try to get them right now because of your oxygen levels and your game skill. It's like jumping on a rocket and watching him bounce off it. Oh, I noticed. I just noticed I forgot to do something very important. One moment. I'm gonna die off for it though, because it's just me. I forgot to share this. That I was streaming this. There we go. Now I'm gonna probably die. Yep. Real oxygen, get ghost, die. Yep. There we go. Well, I know you got a notification, but I forgot to share it on my other site, so it doesn't automatically notify there. Twitter. I post about stuff I do on Twitter. Yeah, it's actually... You can still type twitter.com and get to the site, though. So... But you need to be aware that if you go to Twitter, there's a chance you might end up stuck watching a bunch of political stuff if you ever go to Twitter. That's because that site is known for pushing political propaganda left and right. But somehow I managed to find myself at a pretty much free of most of it. Except for when I see it on YouTube. Ghost is too damn close. Ah! I couldn't blast it. It was too close. The only political stuff I see right now is that weirdness where they're trying to push for online identification on computers. Literally, they want you to have the data on your computer, which I think is dumb. Because basically they're tying hardware to people. Hardware they can't sell because there's a chip shortage that they've rigged themselves with their AI bubble madness. So, not only is it against the Constitution, which I consider it is, because it breaks Constitution laws of the Constitution 1 and 4, right? One is the free speech one, and because 4, because of the way the government classifies computers. The government themselves classify computers in this way. Well, software on computers. They classify some of it as I hope I pushed the right button. They classify it as like a firearm. Computers are like a firearm. Oh boy. Well, it's because of, how most operating systems have some form of encryption on it, and encryption is considered a military tech. As I said, it's very confusing. But because of that, it's also falls under the Fourth Amendment, because that's just how government wants to work with computers. Even if it's a home personal computer, because that's right there with the right to bear arms. Fourth Amendment. Even though I can't think of anybody getting killed by a computer unless they are electrocuted by it. I doubt that there is a lot of casualties of that nowadays. But that First Amendment, right, your free speech, because it's the Free Speech Amendment. The code you run on your computer is your speech. So anything that you do under that also that you use as your operating system also falls under your First Amendment right. But yeah, I think the push for putting, yeah, that is cool. But I think the push for putting ID verification on your computer at your boot up level. And I'm not just talking any ID verification. They already are using geolocating on you, right? They already know where you live. And they've done this for almost 20 years. What they're really trying to do is they're trying to get your picture. They're trying to get your age. They're trying to get exactly how many people are in your household, all stored on the computer, and they're trying to make it so that anything you do involves that data, so the government can always track what you're doing. And all under the guise of let's protect the children. But the thing is that they're not protecting children. They're actually spying on everybody. And then they get all pissed off about J. Edgar Hoover doing that shit back in the 50s and 60s. But the thing is, it's not just like in your nation. They're trying to make it so it's global, all across the internet, all across the world. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it so that no matter what you do, you will present your ID, you will present your age, you will present your numbers. And for some reason, they think they got to have it on the system. Yes, we do remember that. But the thing is, the people in California that run the big companies, like Facebook, I will point out Facebook on this because that's one of the reasons why it's trending as a bad concept. Because they had lobbyists. They put lobbyists in 26 states pushing for this shit. Meta paid for that. Facebook. All because they didn't want to enforce their all because they didn't want to do it themselves on their own end. Which they should do it on their own end because they are responsible for all the crap they show the children. It's just a matter of fact. They're the ones that wanted to buy Instagram. They're the ones that wanted to make Threads. They're the ones that need to actually take care of their own platform instead of trying to force people that don't even use their platform to put their shit on the computer. There it goes. I was wondering about that. Oh shoot, are you kidding me? Oh, that bat came back that quick. Are you kidding me? Well, at least the rock is gone. But yeah, that's actually a pretty bad trend. It's terrible. And I literally pointed out, I posted it right to the EFF, right? That they're being stupid. Wanted to be SJWs for anybody that's not hetero. I mean, it's still a minority in sexual preference, but they've gone totally insane. They think they have to try to get rid of regular white men. They think women shouldn't be having children. They're completely insane. And when I'm talking about SJWs and what that is, I'm talking about like Antifa. Antifa is the epitome of an insanity. Antifa basically is communism. Antifa is communism. It is modern day communism. It is nothing like the original communism that was in but the logic is still there.
They don't want any borders. It's pretty obvious they don't want any borders because they don't want us to deport people. Those people need to go, by the way, because they're scamming the country. Also because it's all connected to Epstein, who's connected to several different corrupt leaders. And WEF also is all guilty of that, the World Economic Forum, because they think they can own the world. And right now, because of all their hubris and all their craziness and all that other stuff, right, we got tariffs now. We have tariffs on a lot of stuff. And the last time we had tariffs on this much of stuff was before the 1930s. You know, the Great Depression. So that's what's going to happen. We're going to have another global depression. Money's going to be useless. Perhaps it's what needs to be happening. I won't be living in that generation because I'll probably be dead by the time all that really goes down for the Great Depression. Because all that crazy shit that happened well before, right? Well before the First World War. And if anything, humans that don't study history, that don't actually pay attention, just are doomed to repeat the same mistakes over and over and over again. And the mistake I'm going to point out, right, is believing that Islam is a religion of peace, because it's not. If Islam was a religion of peace, they wouldn't be trying to blow up. They wouldn't be trying to shoot people and blow them up and stuff like that. Islam is not the religion of peace. The guys that are doing that are actually following what the book says, what the Quran actually says. Those are the guys that are actually doing it. Islam is not the religion of peace. It just is not. And it really pisses me off that there's a push for Islam in the United Kingdom, you know, but then again, they can just go screw themselves. This is America over here. They can just not try to charge us anything for our businesses. That's the other thing that pissed me off politically. UK government's Ofcom Act, some stupid ass shit. They're all pushing for child safety, but no, all they want to regularly do is try to scam people. Always would be trying to scam people and silence them. Always would be targeting them the way they are. They think they own the internet. They don't own the internet. Nobody in the United Kingdom actually made the World Wide Web. The internet sits on top of ARPANET, which is an American project. They don't own shit about this. But because they got the money, which apparently they don't, otherwise they would be trying to target sites like Kiwi Farms and 4chan, trying to charge them money when they ain't gonna get that money from them because we don't have to pay them any money. It's like the UK government forgot that the Declaration of Independence was made. They forgot that we went to war with them over our right to do whatever we want to do over here, because they shouldn't have that much of a reach. Just because they think that everybody's connected by internet, they can just start doing this shit again. Typical. And this time around, the king is just a figurehead. But because the prime minister and the king both have the same religion, which is now Islam, this is why it's happening again. And Islamists, they love communism. Oh, they really love communism for some reason. Although I don't think they should, because communists do all the same shit they accuse us of doing. Because they've accused Donald Trump of being a fascist, of being Nazi, of being the next Hitler. Well, the thing is, he's not the next Hitler. He's actually the next Ronald Reagan. He's our generation's Ronald Reagan. Again, he's the second Ronald Reagan. The thing is, he's more in tune with the internet culture than what they are. They're too busy talking all this violence and shit. The Democrats are. No, the left wingers. They're talking about all this stuff they want to do, all this violence and stuff. How they celebrate the literal shooting of a Christian man in a college. For one thing, you shouldn't be shooting people at schools. We always went to hell about this shit earlier at our grade schools. So they shouldn't even be shooting him, because that's a school. 2, they should have celebrated. Just because he was friends with Donald Trump doesn't mean they should have celebrated. Just because they all hate Donald Trump doesn't mean they have to shoot his friends and then celebrate the fact that his friend died. If anything, that triggered everything, right? That opened up a whole new push for Christianity. It really has. I don't think I haven't seen anything affect globally more than what the shooting of Charlie Kirk did. I mean, if it wasn't for that, right, Japan probably wouldn't have turned out the way it has now, politically. They literally got rid of all their politicians. They did a whole political refresh of every party. That's something they haven't done since the 40s. Yeah, literally. Mark of the Beast and all that. The prophecies are coming true. That's what's going on right now. Yeah, they did a complete government refresh in Japan. All their leaders got voted out and switched up for people that are more in tune with the current generation. Yeah, well, the thing is, we have the power to vote for these people. And they know it. That's actually why they imported all these illegals. Because the Democrats did this themselves. During the Biden... Okay, first they rigged the elections on Donald Trump. Alright? Then they tried to say he was being funded by Russia. Why would Russia wanna control who's president over here when they were too busy trying to wage war and take back lands, trying to recreate the Soviet Union, basically. Otherwise, he wouldn't have went after Ukraine. Putin wouldn't have went after Ukraine if it wasn't for that type of logic. And he only hears it, and he hears it from everybody else that talks that same rhetoric. So he must have got the idea from somebody. And the only ones that are profiting off of it are the Brits. Brits are the ones profiting off of it. Would be the first time the British tried to ruin another nation's sovereignty. They happened with India. Happened with part of China. but the only reason why they let go of that one island over there is because it was a American military base. They didn't want, because there was an American military base on there. They didn't want, and the communists didn't want us to have a base over there anymore. And China's still like, don't talk about us about Taiwan. Don't talk about us about Taiwan. Quit bringing up Taiwan. Well, they're the ones that brought it up. They're the ones that made a scene out of it. They're the ones that are asking for it. I'll mention Taiwan all I want. In fact, I'm venting politically right here, but it's only because of how stupid I think it is. I will mention Taiwan all I want. Because as far as I'm concerned, because Taiwan's held its own against China for so long, it's a sovereign nation. It just needs to. China needs to stop. They're just like any other communist that wants to do the whole no borders mentality. Yeah, well, you know they don't want to do that, though, because it's human nature. I mean, literally, all this killing is happening over you can't tell me what to do, so since I can't tell you what to do, I'm going to just kill you so I don't have to listen to you no more. That's what this logic is. And it's just dumb. It's always been that way. When the best answer would be like, oh, I know, let's have political borders and not interact with the rest of the world on that level. But no. No, they can't have that. No, they gotta make you be their way. What would Jesus do? He would go into the church and tip the table. Just like he did in the Bible. He would just go in there and tip the table. He'd protest. Non-violently. But show that he would do business, but it shows that he means business. Which is why he threw that merchant's table. He didn't try to hurt anybody there. He was just proving his point. I mean, it's true. That's what he did. That's how come the Romans arrested him. Because they were selling stuff in the church. They turned the church into a shop front. That's why he did it. They should have been selling their wares in the church. They could have sold them in front of the church, but not in the church. It's 100% why he did it. Because they were doing something against his culture in his land, which is, God's house. So he was allowed to do that. But it's what the Romans arrested him for. But the thing is, his own people are. Yeah, the thing is, his own people, right? The actual Jewish. They didn't believe he was. They didn't believe who he was. They didn't believe he was actually God's son, right? So So that's the reason why he ended up getting crucified. Well, that was the people that did that to him. But all this time later, right? they acknowledge that Jesus exists and that Christianity has similar values for some reason, right? And they're fine with our values, but they won't acknowledge Jesus being the second coming of Christ. They won't do it. And that any Muslim that tells you they have the same God is lying to you. When they say Allah is God, they're lying. Allah is not God. Allah is Satan. 100% Allah is Satan. It's written in the Bible that he wanted to be the same as God, right? So what does he do? He waits till Jesus is dead, comes back 400 years later, convinces Muhammad, or he was Muhammad, one of the two, to do all this crazy shit like marry children, have sex with them at early, before they turn 9, stuff like that, to have children. Pushes inbreeding. The Quran actually uses a bunch of cherry-picked versions of the Bible. Seriously, there's a lot of things that have been altered deliberately in the Quran. A lot of passages have been shortened deliberately in the Quran. And all the books, and all the later books in the Quran, all talk about how much you should hate Jews and Christians and kill them in the specific order of Jews than Christians. And we're seeing it happen in real time across Africa right now. Was it Uganda? I can't remember which place there was. There was a massive Christian killing, and you can see the blood from the satellites. You can see the blood pools from the satellites. It was affecting Google Maps. That's how badly they were killing people over there. And then they wonder why Ronald Reagan always wanted to get rid of the Muslim powers that took over Iran, because they were funding all this shit. Iran starts having a civil war, and suddenly everything stops. Suddenly, I'm not hearing about Antifa in the streets. Suddenly, everything just stops. Yeah, I know. Right? It is 100% true. And even if they don't believe in Jesus in the same way, they need to love and respect others. It's actually one of the reasons why Japan allied itself with America so quickly. With the whole, before going and doing their own government reset. I know there's Christians over in Japan, but there's still more traditionalists, right? But they all have the same value. They all have the same respect for one another, for for their way of life and stuff. And that's the reason why Japan might actually benefit if there is another if another Great Depression comes, which, I mean, we're on the verge of having one. All the tariffs, all the chip market nonsense, the rising cost of living, where we can't get homes or pay for our food, unless we're living together. Dang it! Bird poop, the bat poop. Really? I'm not getting any further. 1 hour later, it's still not getting any further. Oh my goodness. But yeah. But since all the Democrats seem to have lost the memo on respect the people, right? They're all going to lose the hard way. They push so hard to try to manipulate the voting, importing voters, deliberately not bringing up how bad extreme Islam really is. A lot of that shit. Yeah, well, I wasn't gonna get past that bat. If that flare wasn't gonna detonate like it was doing, I was gonna just die, which is what happened. But yeah, the thing that really annoys me, right, is how Antifa is all about the extreme other end of the of lifestyles, and yet they're still communists, and they still won't talk shit about Islam, even though Islam will straight up kill them first. They will put aside their differences with the Jews, right, for a little bit, just for a little bit, to get rid of gays. They all do that. There was tourists that went over there to Gaza, right? And they were openly being gay and stuff like that. And those Muslims, they killed them. They beat them up. They carried them over to the top of a building and dropped them off and threw them over the building edge. They killed them. Exactly. But we already know what they're doing because of the Epstein files. We already know what they're doing because of the Epstein files, unfortunately. I've learned some stuff from studying those Epstein files I shouldn't have even tried to learn. Like I know what they were talking about when they were talking about cheese pizza and grape soda. Because they sure as the hell weren't talking about cheese pizza and grape soda. There's no way in hell. Yeah, those about rights, those about true rights will end up doing casting the stone, I guess. The stone that takes them down. And voting season's coming up, you know. And we do have some rhinos. Ever heard of that? The term of a rhino. It's where one person claims to be part of one political party but actually behaves like the other part. Oh, it's real. that's actually the reason why it's been so hard to win votes in the cabinet. For the Save Act. Yeah, Rhino's two-faced person. Literally. Save Act needs to pass. We need to have IDs at voting. It's as simple as that. It's the only way we're going to deal with the illegal immigrant issue. Because they're not carding the illegal immigrants when they vote. They're just not doing it. And any politician that claims that, oh shoot, wrong button. Any politician that's claiming that the Save Act actually hurts women voters are actually insulting the intelligence of women. Straight up, that's what they're doing. And the funny thing is, it's the women saying it. Oh, it's gonna hurt female voters. They're insulting their own intelligence. Who doesn't update their IDs in their state? Who doesn't? Seriously, I want to know who really does not update their IDs in their state. I want to know. Most people update their IDs. This is the thing, right? They're insulting the intelligence of women, saying that they won't be able to vote if they pass this act. It's just stupid. If anything, the reason they're having such a fit over it, right, is because they're rigging votes. That's the only reason why they'd be having such a fit over it, is because they're rigging votes. All right. I got myself with a flare. God damn it. I don't have a flare round. Are you kidding me? Finger slips. One more. Well, you didn't miss much. Other than me missing a jump and not be able to get out of where I was stuck and having to drop out of bat. That was funny. Darn it. I know. And then I got killed. Either way. And the steam from the rock got me. Oops. No, I actually thought I was gonna get further than this tonight. I think I had enough for the Altir for right now. That's just how it is. It's pretty bad when I go on to talk about how dumb the politicians are being. I go and make more progress than I do when I'm paying attention. Just how it is, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of bad, right? I can zone out and I do better. Why is that the case when I game? But anyway. Didn't realize I had to go on so many rants when I was playing Spelunker. Well, they're not really rants, they're more like pointing out the obvious. But yeah, if I have anything I really want to, if I have anything I really want to point out that really annoys me about protesters that are protesting against deportations, that they're walking around waving that Palestine flag. It really annoys me. The only nation they should be giving a damn about is their own state and their own government. That's the only nation they should be giving a damn about. It's called having It's called having faith in your country, the land you live on. If you can't even do that, then what's the point of even going out there? I mean, if and then claiming that this is a Nazi ran environment, that he's such and such, and they're going, oh, no kings, but they're so willing to push that communist propaganda. And what is the difference between a dictator and a king, really? Seriously, what is the difference? People still don't get a say. What is the goddamn difference? I mean, a good king actually listens to his people, which is what every Democrat is not doing. It's what every dictator does not do. I'm pretty sure the reason why they're so angry and stuff, right, is because we're pointing out how dumb they really are. They gotta really pay attention. They got to listen to the people. You don't listen to a bunch of bots on Twitter, a bunch of bots that you probably funded. You don't listen to them. You just don't. The internet theory is real. There is actually less people on the planet than what the census has been saying for about a decade. They've overinflated the numbers deliberately. And it's just a fact. I can't think of anything else to say. Oh, why would they overinflate the numbers on the voting for the votes and stuff? Because they want us to believe that the planet is overpopulated. This is a thing that's come out of China. Literally, 100% came out of China. It's part of their curbing the influx of Islam in China. And this is what gets me, right? Is that they all want to push communism. Well, the thing is, communism always leads to oppression. You know, it always leads to oppression. I know there is a small lag. It always leads to oppression, and it always leads to taking rights away from people. It always does. Every single time is what happens. And we've seen communism fail several times already in our lifetime. We've seen the fall of the Soviet Republic. We've seen Pol Pot screw up and die in Cambodia, and he had like the shortest communist reign of all time. But then again, he was an insane he was an insane nut job. So literally, why would you kill all the smart people? Why would you kill all the smart people? Why? Why would you do that? Because they can teach you that communism will fail in the first place? That was the only reason. I mean, he was a school teacher in the first place. He's going around. He was a school teacher out of college before he became a communist dictator. Pol Pot did. And what does he do? First thing he does, he kills everybody that looks smart. I wonder why. They said he was a great teacher too. So he just goes around and kills everybody that would have been his peers. He does it so bad that when he starts having heart trouble and shit like that, he has to go to China to go see doctors over there because he has no doctors in Cambodia. Oh no, he got rid of all of them. That was Pol Pot, right? That is communism in action. This is one of the reasons why I find it so dumb that the way they are right now, right? Oh, pardon me. That was some serious gas. But why they are the way they are right now, it's because it's just so stupid. I mean, why is communism pushing again? It always fails. It always freaking fails. It's so dumb. Humans just don't work this way. I don't care what ideals that Karl Marx wrote in that book. Nobody's found that book exactly in the first place. If they were, they wouldn't have done all the shit that they've done. They wouldn't have tried to take the money away from the people. They wouldn't have tried to start wars of other governments. They wouldn't have killed off their own freaking experts in their own nation. What the fuck is this shit? Well, anyway, what I'm expecting to happen, right, is that the Democrats cease being a party. Soon they will be voted out of existence. Then we'll have another party that's going to pop up, and that party is going to be full communists. Seriously. They're not going to hide they're being communists. They're going to just be communists. It wouldn't be the first time we've had a Communist Party of America. I think the last time they tried to run... The last time I heard of the Communist Party of America was when Ronald Reagan was going for his second term. The last time I heard of them. I'm quite sure they still exist. They're just not running politically in offices because they know it always fails. Because there's too much evidence that communism always fails. So if they're going to start up another party, right? Or they're gonna, or as they have already done, taking over the Democrat Party, they're gonna basically we're gonna have one nation ran by one party, and they're gonna be like, well, the oligarchy, which is what I heard a lot. There's gonna be an oligarchy. The thing is, they already have an oligarchy. You know what an oligarchy is, right? It was the democratic order that was running in ancient Athens, the oligarchy. They already have an oligarchy. The oligarchy is the WEF. They need to get rid of that. But no, they don't want to get rid of that. Instead, they want to back it up, support it. It's so stupid. Well. I'm going to call it a night before I keep on ranting politics after giving up on Spelunker. Have a good night, Leanne. Well, I don't know what alcoholism has to do with it, but good night.